Picture this, it's 2001, you're Julia Stiles, and you're at a high-energy high school basketball game. Who's that handsome man who scores the winning basket? That is Odin James. Make way for lust, jealousy, sex in a motel, and murder. Life is about to get pretty crazy. Sound fun? Well, let's take it back to 1622, to the story of a Moorish general in the Venetian army who has just secretly married his love Desdemona. This is William Shakespeare's Othello. Our story begins on the streets of Venice. We meet Rodrigo and Iago. Now, these guys are kinda devious. They're having an argument about the Moor, a man who has just been promoted to serve as general, and his lieutenant, Michael Cassio. Now, you might think an arithmetician should not be a lieutenant. Well, neither did Iago. And while we're on that, they don't like the Moor too much either, because, racism. Actually, what we don't know at the time is that the Moor is Othello, a man of Northern African descent. But you won't hear anyone call him by his name because, racism. And for the record, Shakespeare including a black character in what is now known as one of his best plays was really unheard of, and it's important to look at why he made that choice. So let's go. After their little argument, R and I decide to go to Brabantio, the respected senator and Desdemona's father, and let it slip to him that she's been getting pretty close to Othello, and the two may even be married. They say, go, see if she's in her bed. Well, folks, what do you think Brabantio finds when he looks in her bed? Yep, she's gone. So, Rodrigo and Brabantio go to find Othello, who has just been told by Michael Cassio that Owen and the crew have got to get to Cyprus, a really teeny tiny island off of Greece, to help with the Turkish invasion. Brabantio believes their marriage must be the product of witchcraft, but Othello and Desdemona both express that they're truly in love.
From the moment we hear Iago say, I follow him to serve my turn upon him, we know that things are going to get real. Buckle up, because the Shakespearean revenge plot is a-coming. Iago hatches a plan to convince Othello that Desdemona is in fact cheating on him with Michael Cassio. Iago believes he is in the right and deserves this revenge. He thinks that his wife, Emilia, slept with Othello. Not true. Iago quickly forces the unknowing Cassio into the plot. He brings the booze and sets up Cassio to have a drunken and physical fight with Rodrigo.
Some wine, ho!
Othello responds by booting the arithmetician out of his lieutenant position, and the extremely ashamed Cassio goes to Iago, of all people, for advice. Iago then lures the young man into speaking with Desdemona alone, convincing him that speaking to the lady will put him in the best possible position to regain Othello's trust. Honor is one of the play's most salient themes. Cassio cares very much about his honorable status, while Iago is willing to step over people to get his revenge. Our antagonists don't not mind compromising other people, even the innocent, and their reputations in order to accomplish what they want. Remember, they're also hella racist. The alcohol, as related to Cassio, is also a symbol of trust. Cassio trusts Iago enough to give in to his pleas to drink more, and it is the result of his drunken state that breaks Othello's trust in him, causing an increased amount of grief later on as the fake cheating scandal is revealed.
Okay, let's keep going. Iago plans to seed for Othello's anger by using Desdemona's handkerchief. The handkerchief is a gift to Desdemona from Othello. It's a stained, dirty symbol of love and betrayal. Desdemona tries to calm Othello down by giving him the handkerchief, but he quickly knocks it to the ground. Emilia finds it and gives it to Iago. She knows something is up, but does not quite understand the full extent of her husband's plot. Iago then plants the handkerchief in Cassio's room, using this detail to convince Othello that the former lieutenant and his wife are romantically involved. It is because of this handkerchief, in a sense, that Othello is driven to figuratively kill his relationship and literally kill the innocent Desdemona. The handkerchief serves to represent a lack of trust as well as Iago's deception. Speaking of trust, it seems like none of the characters in this play actually talk to one another, at least not in the right ways. Oh, Shakespeare, if you only got these people in a room together. Cut out the BS, sit down, and be honest with me. Romeo, Juliet, Othello, Desdemona, Ophelia, so many lives could have been saved.
In the end, Othello murders Desdemona, in their bed, on their old wedding sheets. And of course, Othello finds out from Emilia that the handkerchief was planted, and that the cheating was all part of Iago's plot. Classic Shakespeare. Emilia dies as she is secretly stabbed by Iago. What a douchebag. Othello attacks Iago, and while he does not die, he is harmed. A letter in Rodrigo's pocket reveals everything regarding the scheme. Othello ultimately stabs himself, leaving his body next to Desdemona's. Tragedy. Alright, late night crammers, that's our story. It is one of love, betrayal, racism, and sexual envy, and it stood the test of time. Iago and Cassio are consumed by jealousy. Here's a dope Northern African man being the pinnacle of black excellence with a beautiful wife commanding an army. They weren't going to let it happen. And, as we all know, neither was society in 1622 or even today. Do better, people. Don't let the drama be lost on you, because it's very, very real stuff. Remember that basketball game from the beginning? Consider that Cyprus. Thanks for watching Crash Course. I'll see you next time.